Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what we have here tonight, boys. One game. We might play them 10 times, and they might beat us 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we skate with them. We stay with them, and we shut them down. Because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world. Every one of you was born to be a hockey player. You were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. This is your time. Now go out and take it. These are the words that Coach Herb Brooks spoke before the 1980 Olympic semifinal game. USA versus USSR. The world's greatest team against a bunch of upstarts. And this is how he motivated his team to surpass the world's greatest and eventually become champions. Now, motivation only comes from one place. It comes from inside. Nothing anyone says can make you do anything that you don't do. But what we do as leaders is give them something to fix on. And there's a lot of ways to do this. There's techniques for this. And there's times when you need it. There are times when you need motivation before a big event. Overtime. Championship game. There's times when you need it during because things aren't going so good. And you need to change your momentum. You've got halftime to do this. A break, a pause, a timeout, something. And there's times when you need motivation after. After a defeat. Heck, after a win that cost you so much. After a death, after a loss, after an injury. You've got to get them to fix on something to motivate themselves. And it takes different things to do this because each person is different and what motivates them is not always the same. So you need charm, you need fire, you need fear to get them to where they want to be. And a couple of the techniques are encouragement. The very first one, great job out there. Your hustle to get to the ball made the difference today. With soccer, I'm going to use that because just getting to the ball is going to be a big deal. You tried to kick it, but you got to the ball. Good job. And there's mentality that you need to condition. And the title of the speech is from a Marine Corps Jody, where the platoon sergeant calls out, when I say motivation, you say dedication. Motivation. Dedication.
Dedication.
When I say dedication, you say motivation. Dedication.
Motivation.
It's conditioning. Every time you hear it, you think dedication. Every time you hear dedication, you think motivation, and you're going. They can't make you run. You have to make yourself run. And if singing along does it, you're there. It's also a conditioning of mentality. And tell me if you recognize this one. You've got to learn to be the ball. Be the ball, Danny. Be the ball. It's Caddyshack. This is golf. And you're also conditioned. Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights has his team conditioned. He says, clear eyes, full hearts. And the team, and you're going to hear this again, calls out, can't lose. Conditioning mentality. There's the classic sad story to inspire them to greatness. Newt Rockney comes into this Notre Dame team, and I wish Pete were here. And he says, I've got nothing to say, boys. You can't win them all. But you know George Gipp. He's a little before your time, but he was a legend at this institution, Notre Dame's first one. He said to me on his deathbed, he said, sometime when the breaks are getting to the boys and they're down, tell them to go out there and win one just for me. And with that, Newt Rockne just sighs, walks away. And the team goes out to win one for the Gipper, and they wreck Army's undefeated season. A sad story takes them to where it is. And there's sometimes when you want to fire them up, so you give them something to make them angry. And Coach Brooks did this in one of his Olympic workup games. A player was hurt. He had a deep bruise in his thigh, and the doctor sat him. And Brooks, who's just ready to fire the team up, calls him a candy ass. Suit up and get out there. No. Put on your civilian clothes and get out. And that fired up Rob McClanahan, and he went out and played the rest of the game, and he was a driving force. And he said to Michael Ruzioni, who was trying to stand up for McClanahan, he said, but Coach, shut him down, he says. You worry about your own game. Heaven knows there's enough to work on there. And then the team is all crazy like. He walks out. He says to his assistant coach, because he meant to do this, he said, that'll get him fired up. And that team went out there and they came from behind and they won again. Sometimes you need to kill on ownership, because there are times when you just don't want to give up in your house. Coach Taylor is talking about the Mud Bowl. They built a field so that they could play football. And he says, everything that has been asked of you this year, and everything that you have asked of yourself, gentlemen, has come down to this. Your blood, your sweat, your tears, it stays right here on this field right now. This is your field. This is your mud. This is ours. Go out there and take it. Clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose.
Thank you. You'll see this again. Stay with me. Sometimes motivation, all it requires is specific direction. The manager comes out to a losing Cleveland Indians team and he says to Vegematic on the mound, wild thing. He said, forget the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater. Major League, great movie, and he throws that ball 100+ miles per hour to strike out the best power hitter the Yankees have to offer. Sometimes you use fear to get someone to do what you want them to do. Clint Eastwood, local hero, just shot up a saloon in town, and he wants to get out of town without getting hurt. He says, nobody better shoot. Any SOB takes a shot at me, I'm not only going to kill him, I'm going to kill his wife, I'm going to kill his family, I'm going to burn his house down. Nobody better shoot. And he walks out, he gets on his horse, and he rides out of town because he has motivated everyone to just stay put. There's times when you just have to appeal to your honor. Legendary Marine, Manila John Basilone, stands up on Iwo Jima and he signals to his Marines behind him, come on, you SOBs, you want to live forever? And he goes over the mound. And they stand up and they follow him because dying that way is not the best. But dying as a hero, that satisfies your honor. So there are times when you want to encourage, when you need the conditioning, when you want ownership, specific direction. It comes down to inspiration. And Coach Taylor says, as he's going into halftime, down 26-0 in the state championship game, he says, when Jason Street went down in the first game, everybody wrote us off. Everybody. And yet, here we are in the championship game. 40,000 people out there have written us off. But there are a few out there who still believe in you, who will never give up on you. When you go back out on the field, those are the people I want in your minds. Those are the people I want in your hearts. At some point in his life, every man is going to lose a battle. He's going to fight and he is going to lose. But what makes him a man is that during that battle, he does not lose himself. So one last time, together. Clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose.
That's just